There we go.
Oh.
Ding, 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 ding. I now call this week's edition of Kiwanis Connects to order. Look at all those great people.
Look at my friends.
Wow, look at that. Val, you got a groupie group there.
I know. You know, it's Chip did the best introduction. So tell them where we are.
Oh, we're out at West Valley College today. It's special games and Division 34 and Division 12. We're going to have a great day.
Right
The
on.
parade's going to start in what? 30 minutes? 45 minutes? An hour?
At the end of the show, you'll
Very soon,
get to see the parade.
So we're going to get going. We're pretty much set up and ready to go, and it's going to be a beautiful day as soon as the clouds clear.
Well, did they ever
It's a
think
great day to be a Kiwanian, absolutely.
Did they ever think that they'd be showing the Kiwanis games worldwide? That's
I don't
the
think
question.
we ever thought we would.
Worldwide.
So we are worldwide. We have
Oh, wow.
So we've got viewers from, I want to say thank you out in the Philippines. Thank you, Grace, in Africa. Thank you, Claudia from the Belize. I know that you said
we
you're
had, yeah.
we had
Malaysia last
Belize. Yeah. And so, yeah, this is being broadcast worldwide. So absolutely.
What
So I
besides
want to introduce you to the charter members of this club. And so,
Over there.
we have JR, who was with me when we started this club in the very
We are
beginning.
blessed to impact the lives of these children and these young athletes. It's our day to show them they are special and they are here to shine.
Absolutely. So a little bit later on, I'll share a little bit about the athletes that are here, but we've got the Lieutenant Governor here. So tell it how is the experience of being the Lieutenant Governor for this amazing division?
Division 34 spans from San Francisco down to Sunnyvale along the peninsula. So if you look up a map of California, you'll see a thumb-shaped area. That little area in the Bay Area is the area I am responsible for. There's 13 clubs. The 13 clubs from Division 34 plus the 12 clubs from Division 12 come together and put on this event. So I am from the Special Games Club. That is my home club. So it is a wonderful opportunity here. I think we have about 800 students that are coming from all over Santa Clara County, as well as all the adults that are necessary to help these students through the events. And the kids are having a blast right now. We have a lot of key clubbers out here right now setting up with us. And so they're doing our heavy lifting. We just look pretty and are drinking coffee right now until the 800 students come and get us.
And I am really hoping that someone brings me coffee because this is the first year it's been so cold.
At least it's not raining. It's just clouds.
Yes.
So,
and I know that for East Coast, my consideration of cold is not your consideration of cold, but it's cold.
It's cold for me because I live in Phoenix. So
I was going to say, Kathy's weather is probably more reminiscent of what we had in Vegas for sure, certainly here in Virginia Beach, but we've had all 80s this whole week. So, matter of fact, my pool is open. Just thought I'd share that. So the pool is uncovered, being worked on. So we're getting there. Anyway, so 800 athletes coming. Let's talk. Is that up? Is that a big number? Is that
we're a little down this year only because it's during spring break for some of our school districts, and this event is held on a Friday because the County of Education works with us with the bus scheduling. So with some of the schools being on spring break, some of the parents are still driving their kids here, but that mode of transportation is really important to getting the students here. In our highest attendance, we can get over 1,100 students here, not including the adults that are necessary. And you're thinking 1 to 2 adults per student in order to put on this event. So between Kiwanis, the educators, our Key Club volunteers, it's a lot of people to put on this event just for the students. And it's one of the greatest things we do. So.
And probably from a planning standpoint as well, as soon as one event ends, Kathy, you probably have to figure to start planning the next one because of the amount of people involved, right?
Well, so between the amount of people and the amount of money we have to fundraise as well, having a specialized club and just special games is important for us because half of us will turn our focus on fundraising for the next year and the other half will focus on improvements and coordinating of the events up until probably about November. And then we come together and say, okay, how much money has been raised? How much of the events do we need to do? Who's still involved? Who isn't involved? This year we run into a small hiccup that it's also Key Club District Convention for the Calneva District today as well. So we have some students that are going to be here until about noon, and then they're catching a flight to head down to District Convention in Ontario. So
wow,
everyone's everywhere. They're on the Valerie travel trip schedule.
Yes.
Of service in the morning, convention at night. It's just what we do.
And that's what my day looks like today.
Yeah.
So Aaron, I just have to tell you right now, I drove 2+ hours to be here.
okay.
Andy is sitting somewhere catching his breath from walking all the way up to the fields. And then when we're done with our show and I do my keynote speech, we hop back in the car and drive to Southern California.
After dropping me off at the
After
airport.
dropping her at the airport. And then I go check in with the Key Clubbers and start all over again tomorrow.
There you go. And you thought you were going to have nothing to do after governorship, right?
I know. I thought I was a has-been.
No, you're never a has been, nor were you a have was either. By the way, folks, in case you're interested, you can check out the website, KiwanisSpecialGames.org. Gives you all the history. More importantly, there's a little donation button on there. You know how all we love donating during our show. So make sure you hit that donation. We want to welcome.
Every little bit helps. We usually pay for all the registrations for all the students that are here. We have some schools that come because they're outside of the county purview, and so they have to fundraise their own money in order to come. So some of the Kiwanis clubs individually have become sponsors for those individual schools, but as a collective whole, we can never stop fundraising money for this. This is one of the best events that we do, and anyone that wants to come and join us.
And how many years now? 40 something, I think, or whatever.
42nd year special games. No,
Yep.
45th. 45th year.
45th. Well,
45th special games.
Testing.
Yeah. And that there's a lot of history there, and there's no reason it should stop. And so, folks, again, as you're watching, KiwanisSpecialGames.org. If you're watching, the website is there at the bottom of the screen when you're watching the replay, which is good because you can make a donation at any time when you watch this show from anywhere. Real quickly, I want to welcome everybody who's watching us all across our different feeds on Facebook, whether it's Kiwanis Connects show, WWDBTV, WWDBTV, same things on YouTube. And of course, the plethora of options that you have on the WWDBTV Roku channel. Okay. You can watch everything there. Now look behind. I want to see what's going on behind you. You got some activity there, Val.
We do. So I'm just going to put it out there. And so it's okay. It's just the battery. And so what you can see is it's just slowly filling up. And it's really, really exciting. And so I'm just off camera for a bit so you can get the full view.
Okay.
And one of the things that is so exciting, I'm coming in from the other side. Hi. I'm going to walk around a bit. I have my light up, but the fact that there will be 800 athletes here, it's not just, most people say, well, we already do Special Olympics. And I want to share with you that this is not about Special Olympic athletes. There is a whole category of students that are not physically, emotionally able to participate in Special Olympics. And so there's a whole part of our group of kids that get left out of these kind of special events. And so what we've done is we created an opportunity for kids who have all kinds of mobility issues, all kinds of medical circumstances that leave them out. And we make them feel special for a day. And every kid gets a prize. For some of them, this might be the first ribbon or award ever gotten in their lives. And so I moved a little bit away from the speakers, and so that you could actually see more of what's going on. Everybody in the yellow shirts that you see behind me are all the helpers. And then we have the athletes that will be in a dark blue shirt. And then we have the boosters, which are their parents, and faculty and special counseling coordinators. And so I'm doing a special shout out right now because I got my coffee.
Yeah, I see that. Who got you? Who took care of you?
So Kimberly from the Special Games Club took care of me today.
All
So,
right, there you
I
go.
wanna say
Special
thank
there.
you.
Douglas, we put Douglas's comment up there, folks. If you're not aware of this, the Kiwanis Special Games event won the signature service project for the Cal Neva District. So congratulations on that. So you can tell folks that this is an event that has a lot of prestige, has a lot of history, and I'm glad you jumped ahead and talked about the difference between this and Special Olympics. That again, I think that's important because I got to imagine people seeing this for the first time are thinking, well, this is Special Olympics. No, it's not. And here's why. And I'm glad you covered that early on. And probably we'll need to refresh that later on as more viewers come in and out of the show.
Absolutely.
So this is, you got 800 participants. And based on what I saw on the website, pictures and stuff, there's bowling, there's running for those who can participate. I mean, anybody and everybody, there's something for everybody from what I saw.
Absolutely. We have at this point 26 different games that are around the field. And so there is Nerf arrow shooting. And so if a person doesn't have hands or doesn't have the ability to do it on their own, then their person that's with them, their key clubber that's with them will help them so that they can actually experience it. And so that oftentimes means they kind of hold the Nerf gun on their lap and someone else pulls the trigger, and you should see the giggles. Absolutely the giggles that go with that. So
listen, for those children or adult, is there an age range of participants? Let me ask that.
yes. Yeah. So the oldest participants that we have are, I think, 22, and they're part of a continuation high school group. Most of them are traditional aged students, but we do have a couple that are older, and because we don't leave anybody out, if they're part of the high school, then they can be part of the games.
I think it's great that it's all inclusive of all of those ages, regardless. And for those participants, I'm trying to find the right word without
athletes. They're athletes.
There you go. Thank you.
They're athletes.
That in their normal lives, their normal is very different from you and I and anybody else watching that doesn't have an athletic disability. But something like this goes above and beyond their normal life. And for them, this is possibly a pinnacle activity in their calendar for them to look forward to.
Absolutely. And right now, I'm part of the Upper Peninsula here. It's raining. And people, they knew it was forecasted to rain. And individual athletes were having their parents call to say, please don't cancel it. We'll bring our tents. This is one event they look forward to all year long. And originally, it normally happens in May. But because there are large celebrations that are going to be happening and some kickoff pieces for the Olympics here on this campus, they decided instead of canceling it this year, they moved it up a month. And so these athletes are excited. And there are a number of tents in a special area. We can't do photographs there because there are some people that have not signed the disclosure. And the people that will be going through, we're going to do a parade of athletes in about 15 minutes. And the parade of athletes, everyone who's in the parade gets their name called. And they've all signed a disclosure that they can be on camera and we can share their stories.
Okay, great. Well, I'm looking forward to that, to hopefully be able to have you speak to a few of the participants and or their parents or whoever's willing to come on and share their story. You said that's going to be happening in about 15 minutes?
Yeah, 15 or so minutes. That part of it will start, announcements will start lining up. And so we'll be a part of that. So I'm so excited.
It sounds like it should be wonderful. All right, everybody, we're at about quarter after the hour. So it's time for that first break, which I'm glad because I failed to mention that today's show is brought to you by Bordegaray Injury Law. Nathan Bordegaray here in the
Thank you, Nathan.
Yeah, here in the Chesapeake area. Brought to you by him. And, we got a few other things up our sleeves to show you. So with that, please don't go anywhere. A very special edition of Kiwanis Connects. We got the Kiwanis games happening as we speak. All of a sudden, feel like an old version of Wide World of Sports going on right now. I feel like Jim McKay. There you go. All right. Hey, don't go anywhere. I'll be right back.
Injured in a car wreck in Virginia? Worried about insurance companies taking advantage of you? Attorney Nathan Bordegaray, founder of Bordegaray Injury Law in Chesapeake, is a former insurance defense attorney who knows the insurance company's playbook. With over 12 years of experience and over 100 combined jury trials, bench trials, and arbitrations, Nathan has recovered millions of dollars for his clients. Regardless of where you live in Virginia, Bordegaray Injury Law is ready to help. Call 757-505-HURT. That's 757-505-4878 or visit nbinjury.com today to schedule your free consultation. Allow Bordegaray Injury Law to tilt the scales of justice in your favor.
It's like in the Hill Country and San Antonio.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Shrimp Feast.
Shrimp Feast who?
It's the 46th annual Shrimp Feast hosted by the Kiwanis Club of Chesapeake.
Bring your family and appetite on Thursday, May 15th from 4:30 to 7:30 p.m. to the Chesapeake City Park.
Tickets are only $45, $55 at the gate.
Yeah, but discounts are available for children between 4 and 12, and kids under 3 are free.
Event sponsorships are also available.
To purchase tickets, call Aaron at 702-286-0063, or to become an event sponsor, contact Fred Woodall at 757-469-4945.
Kiwanis builds communities one child at a time.
All right, welcome back. We are back. You can see that Val has shifted and she's pulling somebody in with her. All right, go ahead. Hey, how are you?
Introduce yourself. That's Erin.
Hi, I'm Dee Dee Fager. I'm from the Mount View Kiwanis Club.
Hi, Dee Dee. How are you? Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
She's one of my closest friends, and I think I met you through Special. I think the first time I came up to visit.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think so. And so
Probably.
this is like homecoming week for me. So if you see me grabbing people, it's not because I don't know them. I actually do know them. So,
Actually,
just saying.
if you did grab people you didn't know, that would be more interesting, I think. At times.
Cheers if we get everybody at the edge of the field to cheer on the
She knows everybody.
athletes. If you can come around to the stage here.
Sounds like you're
Okay, I'm gonna go back to where I belong.
good to meet you.
Can we move the parade up closer to the stage? Good morning.
You must be
So
on top of the speaker.
no, the speaker is way back over there on the stage.
He sounds like he's right on top of you, but that's okay. That's all right.
So,
So you can
so
tell
what we're
sounds
doing
like
is
you're ready.
they are. And so we have students from elementary all the way up. There aren't many littles in this process. And part of that is because there are so many clearances that younger kids have to go through if they're in special education or have a special ability. There are too many waivers and the insurance is so high. And we cover most of the insurance for everybody here.
Right.
And so we want to make sure that it's safe and fun. And so that's why as we do this, you'll see that they might be some that are 2 feet tall, but they're still in elementary school. So absolutely.
Okay. Well, listen, liability is still an important thing, not only for the athletes, but of course the volunteers, Kiwanis, everybody that's there. I presume the city or arrangements are made. God forbid, EMTs are available, things like that. Usually at most events, that's part of it as well, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, there is actually a full fire truck and a paramedic van that's right outside of the registration area. They won't
Okay.
bring those on until the actual games start. They won't bring it out here. And they're, with any event, you never know what's going to happen. So you are prepared as you can be.
Right.
But this has become a part of the culture of this community in Santa Clara. And everybody knows it's happening. There is so much support. The police were giving special, it was so awesome to see 2 motorcycles going in front of each one of the school buses as they came in to kind of give them a ticker tape guide in to come park their buses.
Right on.
And
And that's
then there was a police officer and firefighter doing high fives when they were getting out of their car, the buses.
Good morning,
So for
now.
me,
Good move.
yes.
that is so
You guys are
cool
perfect ahead.
that
You're
they're
good.
treated to that red carpet style of presentation, and I think that's a great thing that they have happen. So just give a rundown of the events if you can. What the athletes can expect right now, as you mentioned, probably in about 10 minutes. It sounds like the background, they're getting ready to call the athletes together for their parade that Val mentioned. But then what happens? Give us a feel for the agenda for the day.
All right. So what we're doing right now is we're getting all the schools to line up in their groups, and they are in specific order because we know every name of every athlete in each school. And so they will start after we do the big welcomes and all of that fun stuff. They will start parading around with Olympics kind of music. And we'll all be waving and clapping at them as they're introduced. And then it's at 10 o'clock. It's off to the games. And so behind me, right there, all the way down the football field, at every 20-yard post area, there's a new game. And for
Okay.
some areas, there are two on each side. And so each group has a number, and that's where they start. And each game has a number. So they know that their leads will take, the key club leaders will take them to their game, and then they rotate from there. So that's how we coordinate so many athletes. And some of these groups are really large. We have one school, I think it's Independence High. They have 35 athletes.
Wow.
And so, yeah, and so they're going to be broken up into two groups. And so right now they're negotiating who gets to go with who gets to hold whose hand,
Right.
you know, because there are boyfriend and girlfriend couples and everything that cannot be broken up even for the games.
Right. Sure.
So we make sure that that's okay. And then they're at each game, the athletes will be given an award if they, you know, if they perform the event. Sometimes they get really scared and they just want to watch. So they
Sure.
don't get a ribbon for that one. But for each one that they participate in, they will get a ribbon. And then there are major awards that are given out at the end of the day. And those major awards are for each school. They nominate who put in the most effort, who was the most supportive, those kind of things. And so there's this little bit of competition with that, and it's pretty amazing. But one of the things that always amazes me when you have 1,500, 1,600 people, you know, what is, no, that's not even right. Sorry, my math is so bad. When you have 2,300 people, because usually
Right.
it's two adults to an athlete, that they are done at noon. I mean, done. Everything is put away. People go
Right.
home, and it looks like a football field again because the field also serves as soccer practice.
Oh, okay.
And
Well,
so that's part of the agreement that we don't pay for these facilities. We don't pay for the usage of the facilities. And so one of the reasons why I wanted to highlight this, and I want to highlight every month a different service project that's amazing in different areas of the Kiwanis world, is because people say, oh, that's too big. We can't do that. But in every community, you have kids like these that need Kiwanis. They need this opportunity. They need to feel special. And you can do this. When this program first started, it wasn't before I was born, but when it first started, it was 20 athletes and a couple of people helping out because they were sponsoring the Special Olympics on their campus. And there's this class of kids that couldn't go, and they were left behind. And they were left behind with a teacher's aide and someone they didn't even know, because the teachers that were in the special ed department all were looking forward to being at Special Olympics. And someone's parent was a Kiwanian, and they said, this can't happen anymore.
Mhm.
And so that huge change came about. And so we didn't start with 800 participants and athletes.
Sure.
We started with a very small group. The number of games was very small. And then we just built from there. And so after we won because I'm a charter member of this club. I know you're shocked. And it's one of my clubs. It's one of my passions. And so when we started the club, we looked at all the things that were going on, and we said, we want to make sure that if you want to do this, there's a link on our site, and it will take you to a guide to tell you how to start this process. What are some of the hills that we had to climb with the different jurisdictions and the different agencies that are all involved in making this possible. And it also has a list of the games, and it starts from what are the materials that you need, what are the pieces that you might want to exclude, and our governor-elect candidate is here.
No,
So, gotta back up so you can fit.
Photobomb.
Photobomb.
I love Brian. I'm so glad he stepped in. Brian was also one of our charter members. And how we started this club was we looked at every club in divisions 12 and 34, and we said, will you become corporate members? Will you provide someone who loves special games and has been attending the special games? Will you provide them as a representative of your club to in this club? And so every club in those two divisions joined. And so we immediately started with 31 members in our club. And then beyond that, we've added in some of the faculty that are here. We've added in 2 principals. The president of West Valley Community College is a friend of the Special Games Club. The sheriff up here has joined since the beginning of this process. And it's just something that it gets in your heart, and it's one service project a year. That's our signature service. Everything that we do during the year builds up to this one day. And so it builds up, and we, like 2 weekends ago, we did our inventory and we did all the cleaning. And so each club picked up one of the boxes for the games and made sure that everything was clean or what needed to be brand new, put into the boxes, kitting them out. And then they've all brought them back together so that it didn't fall on one person's shoulders to get that prepped.
Right. You kind of touched on it. Let's give some love to the place you're at that's hosting this. They're not charging for the field. Let's talk about them. Let's give them a little love as to who's hosting this for everybody.
Absolutely. West Valley Community College is right here in Santa Clara. It is one of the most beautiful community colleges I've ever been on. And the campus is in the middle of kind of a suburban-y kind of city of San Jose. But you wouldn't know it when you're actually on campus, because as you can see, there are a lot of trees. And there's actually, they put in a human-made river.
Okay.
And there are 2 major lakes, not ponds, but lakes. And this field is actually in a bowl. And here's one of those secret things that we're going to make it not so secret. Before the 49ers go into training camp and they're doing all of their official warm-ups and all that kind of stuff. A couple of weeks, I won't tell you exactly how many weeks it is. The running backs come out here and they do all of their practice rounds, and the taxi squad comes out here and uses part of this campus.
Right on.
And they are big proponents of the games. And sometimes when it's in May, we'll have some of the major athletes that are here because they just want to help. And
Sure.
the only reason you know that they're probably not participating in the games is they're so tall and they are so big. So,
Exactly.
so
KiwanisSpecialGames.org is the website. You can check out more information about the event that is now in its 45th year of providing these games for the special needs children. I don't even want to call it athletes. Let's call them athletes.
They're athletes.
So
Absolutely.
that is the website. Go on there, make a donation, because it does cost a few shekels here and there to put these events on, as you heard earlier. As you panned before, I noticed what would be basically you would be looking straight at the amount of people that looks like are getting ready to line up. It looked like there was a whole bunch. There you go. That's the view. So it looks like the athletes are getting ready for the parade that you were mentioning.
Yep.
Yeah, and you can see they're lined up all the way around. So here's what I'd like to do. If they're going to be kicking off shortly, why don't we take our last break of the show early? Hey, Annette, Annette, my good high school buddy. How you doing, Annette? Good to see you out there, a high school classmate. I love it. Wow. Okay, threw me off for a second. let's take our last break of the show. This way we can go right to the top, because not only are you going to hopefully snag some interviews, but we still have Melissa's mental health moment, which is about kindness and friendship, which is great. I'm guessing today's show is the entire Wow Kiwanis Wow segment.
Yeah, it is.
And then, of course, you know, I can't leave Val without him. Bad dad jokes right here in my hand. And Andy, of course. All right, John, we're going to make this our last break of the show, so we have plenty of time on the way out. You're watching Kiwanis Connects with Val and Aaron. We'll be right back. Yeah. It's rabbit season. Duck season. Rabbit season. No! On May 10th, duck season starts at 9 a.m. inside Coelho Ranch, Arroyo Seco River, with the 21st Duck Race, hosted by Arroyo Seco Citizens Association. The Unlimited Duck Race predominantly pits engineering student teams from Cabrillo College, Monterey Peninsula College, and Hartnell College. Marina High School will make their first Derby appearance this year. The ASCA, a nonprofit charitable organization, hosts this event as its main fundraiser each year. Profits raised support the local fire station, college scholarships for local students, and other Arroyo Seco community initiatives. Ducks can be adopted for as little as $5 for one duck, or up to $100 for 27 ducks. Top 5 winners will win cash prizes. Winners 6 through 10 and the last duck to cross the finish line will receive a great prize. Free parking at shuttles, bands, food trucks, local artists, and more. For more information, contact ASCA contact Valerie Brown Klingelhofer at area code 831-731-0259. All right, welcome to Kiwanis Connects. Doc Val's out there in Santa Clara getting ready to watch the athletes and the parade for the Kiwanis Special Games out there. So we're getting ready for that. Douglas Chadwick buy ducks from his team for that duck race that you saw. I know I bought ducks. The Voice has ducks. Duckies are swimming for the Voice. We got them in there. Duckrace.com/Arroyo Seco teams /138. It's a lot of stuff. We'll get it in there. But basically, that should be a lot of fun. Anyway, all right. So you should just the team should just about be getting ready to start the parade, yes?
Yes. You can hear the announcement.
Hello, good morning.
Okay, I want to move you closer.
Welcome to the 35th
Hello, everybody. I'm Jim McKay. Wide World of Sport. No, only kidding. Athletes are getting revved up. You can hear them cheering. Now, are the parents, Val, I don't know if you can still hear me, but are the chaperones and parents with them as well in the parade?
Yes, yes. So, because many of them can't do this parade without extra help. And so, I'm going to leave you here, and hopefully you can hear it announcing.
Okay, we have a pledge of allegiance for you. Please welcome Coach Rob.
Okay. So it's almost run like a traditional Kiwanis
With
meeting.
Coach Rob,
So-
that student Sam, they're going to lead us in the pledge. Here we go. To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic of which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, I just want to do a quick reset for everybody who's just joining us here. Thank you for watching Kiwanis Connects. Doc Val is live in Santa Clara. They are doing their 45th annual Kiwanis Special Games, and we're covering it. They're just getting ready to start the parade, and as Val mentioned, they kind of kick it off the way a Kiwanis meeting would start, with pledge and a little song, maybe a little inspirational message. And then the athletes, some 800 plus companions and parents and helpers to get them through the parade, are also there lined up on the track. And hopefully as they come around, Doc Val will be able to get some quick comments from anybody who's willing to step up to a worldwide audience. That's right, worldwide. We are all over, as you know. We want to thank everybody for tuning in. Again, the website, KiwanisSpecialGames.org. There you go. There's who you got there, Val?
How are you doing?
So this is one of my friends. She's going to be doing a speech. And welcome. So introduce yourself.
Hello, good morning. My name is Mary Chung. I'm one of the client, a course of adapted art,
Yep.
and I and I'm a volunteer at Kiwanis Special Game. I've been volunteering like several years from now, and I will be doing the Kiwanis um special game today.
Okay.
And thank you so much for having me. I go to Echo Church every Sunday.
Okay.
I speak English, Cantonese, and Mandarin. I
Wow.
want to say have a great day. 多謝晒你俾我嚟參加呢個做運動今日
Thank you, my friend. Have a great day today.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Adios, amigos.
Adios, amigos. Well, there you have it.
Thank you.
Mr. Governor.
You know what? The one thing, folks, as you watch this, you know, we talk about what's going on in the world today, and when you see an athlete, an individual like that, how can you not? I have goosebumps as I'm sitting here listening to her, watching what we're seeing.
When I look around this field, I see so many amazing faces.
Oh, it's a familiar voice.
I look forward to all year long. I think the world is watching you right now. We've got a camera that's up here, so when you go by, please wave at it. We have people in the Philippines, Guam, the Congo, Kenya, and Belize. Also, all 50 states are watching. So wave at them, and they are supporting you and cheering you on because this is your day. Aloha.
If you would please welcome West Valley College President, Dr. Jennifer Taylor Mendoza.
So now some of the other dignitaries here will now make a few
Good
comments.
morning, and a warm welcome to the Kiwanis Special Games. On behalf of the West Valley Mission Community College District Board of Trustees, our amazing Chancellor Bradley Davis, I'm joined here by our Vice Chancellor of Athletics, John Balajo. We are super thrilled to be hosting you all. We are excited to have you here for a day filled with joy, determination, and celebration. Today is about more than just sports, but it's about recognizing the strength, the spirit, the perseverance of each and every one of our amazing athletes. You inspire us with your courage, your energy, and your smiles. To our families, our
We should
coaches,
just
our
follow
friends, and
energy,
volunteers,
and
thank
pride these
you for your
have
unwavering
and
support
sprinkle
and
into
dedication.
today's society.
Your encouragement
Not sure how
and
much
love
better
help mix
our world could
this
possibly
event
be. It's just
truly,
amazing the
truly
spirit that they
special.
have. Because to
And
them,
to
this is
our
their normal life.
organizers and to our sponsors, thank
And
you
this is
for
a day like
making
today
today
to
possible.
realize that they
So
are
let's clap loudly,
worth having around.
smile often, and enjoy our incredible day together.
So hopefully some of the athletes will heed to Val's advice and stop and wave at the camera as they go by.
So we've got several other people that will be doing their speeches. I'm hoping you get to hear some of it. And then as they're going by, we'll do some interviews, but I want to be respectful. So that's why I'm off camera with
We
you.
also want to thank the Alameda Family Services for their generous donation of water and support. Now, please welcome. Ready to go? This is Mary Chung, and she's going to give our oath of athletes.
Good morning, everyone. I want to say, I will do my best. Special games, friendship, and cooperation, communication, and friendship. Upcoming, the whole spirit of the games.
Going full screen on Val's feed there, give everybody a much better picture of what you're looking at. few more dignitaries to speak.
Let's get
How
our
about that?
creative athletes going. Welcome, athletes.
All right. So
A special warm want to shout out to Campbell community, the Campbell Crocs. Let's go, students. Let's give a warm welcome to Alejandro, Aloysius, Andrea, Athena, Daniel, Esteban, Eva, Helen, Jane, Joe, Kevin, Luke, Maria Fernanda, Marwa, Noella, Paul, and Violetta. Welcome.
No red record. What's the name of your red record?
I don't know. That's what I asked Nancy. Okay. So as you can see, the parade is coming through, and so I'm gonna kind of walk along.
Middle.
Woo, woo!
Good morning, Alina, Alexis, Sandy, Anuj, Castro, DJ, Georgia, Gerardo, Giovanni, Jaden, Jesus, Jetty, Juan Pablo, Calden, Carla, Kayla, Kelly, Kevin, Maria, Matthew, Micah, Savannah, Siddharth, Tyler, Vivian,
Everybody's so
Leslie, and
excited.
Zachary. Welcome, Dartmouth. Okay, shout out to Monta Vista, home of the Matadors. Let's welcome Aditya, Adrian, Eileen, Andreas, Anthony, Tony, Antonio, our kid, Ryan, CJ, Kobe, Daniel, Danny, Lolly, Eddie, Emily, Ethan, Ettore, Ian, Ivan, Jackson, Jenna.
So you get to see all the athletes as they're getting geared up. There are more that are coming into the stadium.
Megan, Ferrari,
But it keeps going.
Lisa, Rachel, Rachel,
So
Riley.
I'm getting further and further into the crowd
Okay.
so that I can actually interview people as they're waiting. Okay.
KiwanisSpecialGames.org is the website, so people can go on there and check out past events and make some donations as well. 800 athletes are registered to participate in today's games, folks. So God bless them. And for 800 athletes, there's at least one or two per athlete to be there to support the athlete's participation. And there's not one not smiling face there. Anyway.
There will actually be a little bit of crying that goes on. As you know, there's always, when you get a lot of intense emotions going on, there's going to be lots of laughter. There's going to be some tears. Some of it, they'll just be tired from this exertion. Some of them actually do warm-ups. And so you saw some of the kids in the area where they were just hanging out, where they were running around in circles, getting practiced so that they're ready. But one of the things about special games that's really important to me is they're not competing against each other.
Right.
They're competing for themselves. And for many of them, someone is having the belief in them to allow them to go at their own pace. So like we have right behind me, we have it's like miniature golf, but not, where they can see how far they can roll a ball. And depending on where that ball lands is what kind of a reward you get. The cones in the beginning are really, really close. I'll show you. Because they're going to move those little red cones in a bit.
Okay.
But those the red cones are as close as where they start. So every child will feel accomplished in what they do. And so that's the part that amazes me, because it takes a lot of extra effort to plan out these kinds of processes than it would to run a track and field event. If you were doing a high school level track and field, the rules are very different in how you set this up. And so one of the things we always say to all the volunteers before they show up, if you're having a bad day, you got off on the wrong side of the bed, don't come in. Yeah, because most of these athletes are very sensitive. They can feel the energy, right? So if you are negative, they will feel that. They'll feel that and take it personally. So we are all very upbeat, all very loving. On the other side of the field that I came away from was where everybody is cheering as they get their names written read out, and so you wouldn't have been able to hear me at all, and it would have just been like, "Where's Val?"
Well, I didn't. All of a sudden, I'm trying to give a little recap as people are watching, telling people what's going on. And I know you left the camera and Mary was still chatting with me. All of a sudden, I'm like, wait, I hear that voice, and then I realized you were up at the podium as well. So it was interesting that that was on. Hey, I'm making a little programming note on the fly here. I want to let everybody know, in order to give all these athletes as much attention in this event as possible, we're going to bypass mental health moment and bad dad jokes on the live broadcast. As soon as we end, I will record this week's bad dad jokes. We will compile it with Melissa's mental health moment tip of the week. We will upload that as a separate video to go in like a part 2 after the show was off, whatever, because we want to give this event as much airtime as possible. So Val, I hope you're okay with that, but I decided to do that on the fly here. So.
Can you at least do one bad dad joke at the end?
I can, and I'll tell you, yeah, I will. Okay, yes, I will. At your request, Daryl Gums, our buddy down in Atlanta, he sent me one before he went off the air, and then I will share one or two just to kind of get you guys through, and then I'll record the rest of them with the mental health moment. So
Awesome. Thank you. Because, that's how I end my week. No matter how bad my week is, when you do your bad dad jokes, even if they are really terrible, they're still amazing. So
I got to tell you a quick little side note on the bad dad jokes. My brother-in-law, my step brother-in-law, visited us last weekend, and we were just and we laughed so much between him and him and his brother. They're twins, and when we all get together, it's nothing but a weekend of like one-liners and jokes and laughing hysterically. So we got into a deep conversation, and I said to him, when you need to get your head out of the clouds, let me know. I'll send you a bad dad joke. Well, since then, we're trading bad dad jokes every day now. Since then, so
that's awesome. That is way, way awesome. I love it. I was talking to one of the Kiwanis volunteers, and he says, what is this show all about? And I said, it is to connect Kiwanis and service organizations with all of the different parts of the world, not just Kiwanis, but things that are impactful, that make a difference in kids in our community's lives. And one of the things that we do that makes us special is, even if the show was bad, they get a chance to laugh at the end. So it may be the only time they laugh all day.
Sure.
And that's something special. So
yeah, absolutely. Listen, our show may not be for everybody every week, but there's always something in every show that can be for everybody every week. So
absolutely.
We must be doing something right, considering our viewership has gone up 25% since last June. So we must be doing something right to help the community. So
well, I think it's because you're so good looking. People just really want to be a part of that. There you go.
Yeah.
And so Eileen didn't even have a thing to do that.
Shut up, you. Shut up, John.
So he's so supportive.
I know. Listen, where would I be without him? Look where I am with him. Look where I am with him. It couldn't be any worse, I guess.
But I've heard over and over again from most of you who are out there that this is exactly what we needed, and it is refreshing, and you discover new things, even if it's just one little glimmer, something special that you can take back to your home, your family, your Kiwanis Club, your work. That's a good thing, and we're real people, and so we make mistakes sometimes, and we misquote, and we know that people are out there that will correct us in a heartbeat, and that's awesome. So,
and they love doing it.
I know. I think they wait for the bloopers. At some point, we might need to do a blooper reel. But
I'd be very afraid, because I know John's got about 12 years worth of my own bloopers.
Okay. Well, I'm going to turn around because we got two key clubbers, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So here are two key clubbers. Don't
guys,
ask them how don't ask them how they feel right now because the parade's still going.
I won't do that to him.
And look closer.
Introduce yourself. Oh yeah. My name is Jessica, and I'm Sansa Key Club Vice President. My name is Ellen Chan. I'm Sansa Key Club's recognition chair. Okay. Yeah.
So how did you end up being part of this?
Okay. So according to every single year our Key Club we send out our volunteers here, and we usually come a big group, but this week is spring break, so unfortunately there's not that many people because they're on vacation. And we usually have a big group every year because they would like land on a school day and like to like this school. Yeah.
The secret is out.
Yes.
Well, I'm glad that you're both here. So, is this the first time you guys are doing this?
No, we've been here. So we're juniors right now. So she's been here, I think, 3 times. Yeah, I mean, 2 It's my second time. Yeah.
Excellent. So, thank you. Well, we're broadcasting around the world right now.
Oh,
and so thank you for being here. And if you see an athlete that you think that they want to talk to us, put them on the air.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you.
He says thank you. Bye. All right. So I just saw them. They're getting ready to. They're going to be monitoring one of the games, and so it's just like I can go interview them. It's like yay!
I just got word from John. If we go a little long, we have a little extra leeway today. So, did you want to run the mental health, kindness, friendship thing right now while you're waiting to get an athlete?
Sounds good.
All right, John. Let's roll Melissa's message. Mental health moment. Here we go.
Hi, I'm Melissa Atwell, the founder and CEO of the Mental Health Moment. And my mental health moment that I want to share with you today is a moment of kindness or a word of kindness can go a long way. And I want to give you an example of that. If you have a moment where you see something and you want to compliment someone on what they're wearing, what they're doing, do it. Because you never know what that one moment of kindness will do for someone else. And that is a ripple effect. So remember, take a moment for your mental health.
It's all about.
That's perfect.
All
right, we're
Wasn't
back
that
now.
awesome? Yes. So they're running away from me really fast.
No, you can't
So
run.
I'm gonna go like here, so he can't run away.
We're international. We'll
Come and
find
huddle. And so introduce yourselves.
I'm Senior Harris. I'm from South San Francisco, Kiwanis.
Bill Benavides, South City.
I'm Miss Company when I'm a teacher at El Camino and Key Club advisor.
Awesome. Thank you. And so we're actually broadcasting. It's called Kiwanis Connects. And so we have people all over, and some people don't realize how amazing this is. Is this your first time or how?
Many years.
Many years.
First timer? Okay, so we've got a first timer here volunteering.
So
And then many years.
Can you ask the folks that they said, okay, I'll say they can hear me. So those of you who've done it many, many times before, why do you enjoy doing it and why do you keep coming back to do it?
Feels good.
That's right. It
Okay.
really does. It's great.
We don't realize our lives without anything, any pain, any discomfort. And these kids seem to be so happy. Just seeing them being out here gives me joy.
Great. And
Very
the other
eye-opening.
young lady there is an advisor.
The advisor.
Say again?
You're an advisor and this is your first time?
Yes, this is my first time.
And she's actually an advisor for Key Club.
She's
Oh,
a faculty
okay.
advisor.
She's a faculty
Great.
advisor for Key Club.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm
Great.
the faculty advisor for Kiwanis.
And you're a faculty advisor for Kiwanis.
Great. Yes. Keep up.
Absolutely awesome. So
Great.
thank you for doing this.
Thank
We
you.
really appreciate you both. And so
Absolutely.
you'll be a returner multiple times in the future.
I hope so.
Awesome. Thank
Yes.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you guys. Val,
Thank you.
that first time for that advisor, like John just put in the chat room, we just heard the message from Melissa about doing an act of kindness. And here you've got, I mean, everybody there who's done it before is doing an act of kindness, but for the first time for that advisor, that young lady there to do this, that is a prime example of exactly what Melissa just talked about in terms of an act of kindness in the moment of kindness.
Absolutely. And you know, right now our world needs more huge acts of kindness. And when Melissa talked about it, it just rang true that we need to keep that at the top of our focus and our energies, because without the kindness and without truly reaching out and helping others, there's no reason for us to be here.
I'm sorry. I just got a message that I quickly read that came through, which I'll address later. Douglas, I got your email and I will respond after the show. It's just a wonderful thing to bring everybody together to do this. So it is an event that I'm jealous. I'm jealous. I'm not there to be part of it, to be honest with you. I've reshared this feed with my Lieutenant Governor here, Kimberly Temple, and our governor here as well, hoping that they'll see it, and maybe this is something that we could consider doing on this end. So, yeah.
We would love that on our Kiwanis One Day that they would do around the world, that maybe our Kiwanis One Day could be a special games day around the world, where all of us are doing this kind of project with our special athletes.
That, you know what, a Kiwanis One Day event like that would be interesting. For sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it could be as simple as someone getting, calling it the Red Solo Cup events. And so every event only involves the Red Solo Cups. There's different ways to do this. It doesn't cost people a lot of money, but it brings a lot of joy. And so, absolutely.
Herman, thank you for your kind words, Herman. No bad Kiwanis Connects, some just better than others. Hearing the message on kindness to end the show is always good. So thank you, Herman, as always. We love you. Thank you for always supporting Kiwanis Connects.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I wanted to thank Nathan again, because Nathan reached out and ran his commercials with us for 3 months. And I am so thankful, because that's the kind of thing that keeps us going. And making sure that we can get this kind of show out there and have so many people around the world see what's possible. And so I'm hoping that when you do your Shrimp Fest, that maybe we focus in on Shrimp Fest for today.
We're doing that on the 15th. The event is the 46th annual Chesapeake Kiwanis Club Shrimp Feast. I'm actually, because I'm having oral surgery on the 13th, my participation on the 15th will depend upon how I make it through my follow-up appointment on the morning of the 15th and see what kind of pain I am in to see if I will physically be there. But it's going to be a great time, just like this. And the bottom line is we do it because we have the passion for it to help our kids. It looks like the parade has gone past you. So it looks like all the athletes are in now.
Woo! Yeah. So what they've done is we're at the end of the parade. They're still introducing some of the late shows. And how this has been so effective and organized is so JR, who is the MC that's announcing all the kids' names and stuff, he actually has an earbud. So if he can pull the list for the school. And so someone is on the sidelines, and when they come to that school, the person talks to JR and says, next is Marshall Middle School. And so then JR goes through his notebook and pulls Marshall Middle School. So it doesn't matter how they line up, they're still going to be acknowledged when they show up.
Right on. No, that's good. That's good that coordination is there. All right, we are at 1 o'clock, and it doesn't look like any of the athletes were willing to step up and do a quick interview.
No, they kept running. They kept running away from me. So if you do a bad dad joke, and we can say see ya.
I'll tell you what, if it's okay with you, since John says we have a little leeway, I might as well just blast them all. We'll get them out and done, and everybody can watch everything together. How's that?
Sounds good. Sounds good.
All right, John. Here we go. Time to end with bad dad jokes. Here we go. Good news is that these are relatively quick ones from a whole new list called the 200 Best Dad Jokes of All Time. But I'm going to start off with one I got from our good friend Daryl Gums down there. He's a guy that you see every reading. Here you go. This is from Daryl. What is the largest ant in the world? What is the largest ant in the world? It is called a giant. A giant. No. All right. Here we go. What does a baby computer call his father? What does a baby computer call his father? Dada. Okay. Where do pirates get their books? Pirates get their books from secondhand stores. I know. Or the Kiwanis Literacy Club. How's that one? What do you call a line of men waiting to get haircuts? What do you call a line of men waiting to get haircuts? Certainly not bald guys, that's for sure. Let's call them. We call them a barbecue. Barbecue. Okay. Did you know that the first French fries were not cooked in France? Did you know that? Did you know that the first French fry was not cooked in France? You know why? Because they were cooked in Greece. Yes, John, you got that one, my friend. Hey, how do you find Will Smith in a snowstorm? How do you find Will Smith in a snowstorm? You look for Fresh Prince. All right. Want to hear a joke about paper?
Latimer Lions.
Never mind, it's terrible. All right.
Come on down.
What do you call a bundle of hay in church? What do you call a bundle of hay in church? You call him Christian Bale. Christian Bale. I know.
Isabella.
That was a Batman kind of reference. All right. What's blue and not very heavy? What's blue and not very heavy? Light blue.
Light blue.
There, you son of a gun.
We have the.
All right, I think I had one or two more. I don't know. I hope Andy's listening wherever you're sitting.
Shout out.
All right, last one. Here you go.
Alexander, Adriel.
My wife gave me an ultimatum.
Karen, Daniela, Esther, Hugo,
my addiction to
Jacob,
sleep.
Jay-Lynn, Jay Paul,
The decision was a piece of cake.
Joseph, Joshua, Kyle, Mateo,
Okay.
Dale, Noah. Hold on.
That's it. I'm done.
I'm done.
I'm done. That's it. We'll get everybody out of there.
I am so grateful and thankful that you guys got to hang out with me on one of my favorite days of the Kiwanis year, which is Special Games Day. If you're ever interested in being able to do this, please go to the Special Games website. We'll give you insight, and we will also have a booth at Kiwanis International in Pittsburgh. So please consider adopting this signature service project as one of your own.
And speaking of Kiwanis International Convention,
Let's hear
our
some
lovely
spirit.
jerseys that you see Val is wearing today, and the one that I wear most of the time as well. We will have a select few available, but we're going to send out information if you want to order your own in time for convention, especially if we're all going to go to the baseball game. Now, it's not necessarily going to have your name and number unless you want to pay extra for that. But you can get the jersey where it says Kiwanis Connects. I have some information. So be on the lookout very soon for your ability to pre-order and have them in time for convention. All right. With that, thank you for a great show today, everybody, for tuning in to Kiwanis Special Games. We appreciate everybody that's out there. Val, thank you for bringing us live out there and giving that platform our audience of the internet and the world to be able to show what they do. You're watching Kiwanis Connects. As always, be kind to everybody. Even if you don't like the
come on down. Let's go. Welcome to Special Games 25.
This show is out.
Thank you.